Have you ever read a book by Gabriel García Marquez? What if I told you that a photographer has turned his stories and his character into a book? Good evening YouTube, it's Frank Schauter here, and today I'm gonna talk to you about Macondo by Fausto Giaccone. Fausto Giaccone is an Italian photographer born in Tuscany in 1943. He resided in Palermo and then after moved to Rome and Milan. He has graduated in architecture, but he always worked as a freelance photographer. The lack of a sense of belonging to a place led him to feel an inner emptiness. He filled this emptiness with photography and with the story of the others. In his photography, he never played with drama or inhumanity or pity. He is always telling story of dignity, of human being and beautiful places, beautiful people, even where other photographers shown as a tragedy. His most famous work are about the 1968 revolution in Italy, about all the riots that at the time moved the Italian population to save their own rights. After that, he worked all around the world as a photojournalist, covering social issues, architecture and landscapes. Since he was young, he became passionate about Gabriel García Marquez. He read the first book of the author when he was in the military service, and after that, he brought inside him these stories of a specific place in Colombia, the Costa, and he had always in mind to tell something about those places. He has been lucky in his work, has been there several times, but after in 2006 he realized how to build a proper story of dignity in those places, bringing back to us the views of a place named Macondo. In this specific book, Macondo is the town of the story of 100 Years of Solitude, and actually has been the name of the plantation of bananas nearby the hometown of Gabriel García Marquez. Aracataca is in the Costa, the Caribbean coast of Colombia. So between 2006 and 2010, Fausto Giaccone decided to travel through those places, meeting people, trying to understand the culture and the way of living, only with a Rolleiflex, so a bi-optical camera, and black and white film 120. In 2013, with the publisher Postcard, he released Macondo. This book, 128 pages of black and white, beautiful photography, as an hardcover, first of all. Fausto Giaccone focused on the Caribbean Colombian side, bringing back to us all those views, all those kind of people that are inside the novels of Gabriel García Marquez. Mainly 100 Years of Solitude, but also other books. Inside the text are by Gabriel Martin, the biographer of Gabriel García Marquez, Giovanni Chiaramonte, another Italian famous photographer who worked also with Ghirri in Punto e Virgola, and the full story of the book by Fausto Giaccone. Macondo is the town of 100 Years of Solitude. It's an imaginary place, but not too much. I said it was the real name of the banana plantation nearby the hometown of Gabriel García Marquez, Aracataca. But Macondo is not only that. Macondo is the whole Caribbean Colombia, the story of this little town in the middle of nowhere, nearby banana plantation, but actually isolated for a lot of time from the rest of the world. And they are still not that far from 100 years ago. So let's have a look to Macondo by Fausto Giaccone. The book retraces Giaccone travels in Colombia, following the steps of Marquez characters. The order of the photographic narrative itself is based on setting of the writer's novels. Short quote from his books, linked to the photos that recall them, taking us into an unknown, fantastic, yet real country. And we start with public places and their backs like a cinema. And then the first text, this one is one of my favorite pictures of this book. And the text here is a part of the novel 100 Years of Solitude. In the pages of this book, we find stories of people who inhabit those Caribbean places, often economically poor but rich in spirit, strong and dignified people. Fausto Giaccone tells us about their everyday lives, never simplifying their misery, in fact avoiding any sense of superiority. Steering clear of post-colonialism and underdevelopment themes, he offers a story about the beauty of the ordinary, the everyday, a story that brings us back to the lines of Marquez. I mean, if you have ever read any book of Gabriel García Marquez, mainly 100 Years of Solitude, that maybe is the most famous, you retrace places, faces, and behavior. Mind that from 2006 to 2010, for 4 years, he traveled those places, living for weeks with local, meeting people, living with them their own life. And you can see it's a story of daily normal life. People in the countryside, in little towns, the middle of nowhere, but with dignity, with something that we can call a normal life. There is no pity, there is no, I don't know, superiority from who tell the story and who is in front of the camera. It's just a sharing of places, of moments, of daily life. The quality of the book is great. I guess it's in a Triton print and thick, heavy paper. Yeah, this looks like Triton print. Postcard makes always very good quality books. Really love this. Also this double page, and reading the couple of lines that are inside the book, it gives you a proper idea of what is around here. I mean, this is just the spark, the start, our imagination to understand those places and to let our fantasy travel through this picture. The book is in English, but at the end there is an insert with the text in Italian here and a map of the places told in this book and actually where Fausto Giaccone traveled. So here we are in the border between Colombia and Venezuela, in northeast South America, in front of the Caribbean Sea. Actually, it's the Gulf of America now. So this is a great example of how reality and fiction can mix together, making this beautiful game of memories. After reading several times this book, after spending time on those pictures and knowing also the books of Gabriel García Marquez, you start to feel something in common. We start to share something with those places, with those people. It's like a far cousin that you have a lot in common with, but you don't see each other from long time. It's like that we also have a part of Macondo in our memory, in ourselves. Some year ago, when I bought this book, I met in person. Fausto Giaccone was presenting the book here in my hometown, and he also came to my darkroom to print some picture and have some memory about the old darkroom printing system like my previous studio was. And he's a super funny person, super friendly, and you can't tell that he's so old. I mean, he's like above 8 years old, but doesn't speak like an 8 years old man. You see that he's a person that traveled, that covers social issues, but that not only told to the other with his photography, but that mainly he lived those social issues by himself on his skin, like in the 68 protest in Italy. Thinking again about the time in darkroom, he just came inside and told me, hey, I don't remember well how to print. I'm several here without printing. Trust me, 10 minutes he was taking back, showing us how to mask properly, how we preferred contrast. He really needed 10 minutes, I don't know, few time, and it was already 100% working under the enlarger. We were using actually some negative of mine, nothing special, but really with his hand he could make beautiful mask, beautiful contrast from a negative that wasn't from him and on a paper that he ever tried. In these cases, if you're lucky enough to live some moment like that, you see how was the work of old reporter and old photographer who really worked as a black and white photographer, shooting, telling story and printing by their picture. I guess for Macondo it's all. I really recommend you to have a look to this book. It's not that expensive, it's like 40 euro I guess. Mind that I will leave you down the link in the description for the Postcard site where you can find the book. The site is in English and Italian also. This video is not sponsored by Postcard or anyone. Mind also that on the description you will find the link to my blog where you can read something else about this book. See you in the next video. Hope next week. Buy books and not new camera, please.